The 8 best states to own a dog in 2026. Where you live changes what owning a dog actually looks like. The costs, the laws, the kind of life your dog gets. So here are 8 states that are genuinely great for dog owners in 2026. Not a ranking, 8 states, 8 different reasons to love them. A couple will surprise you. Colorado. This is one of the easiest states to recommend across the board because it doesn't really have a weak side. The animal protection statutes are among the strongest in the country, the penalties for cruelty have real teeth, and the day-to-day is genuinely easy. Costs are reasonable for what people earn there. Pet spending sits at under 3% of the typical household income. Vets aren't hard to find, and there's real off-leash space built right into the state parks, not a sad patch of grass behind a gas station. The one honest catch is the cost of living. Denver and Boulder aren't cheap. But if you just want a state where a dog can have a great life, Colorado fits almost anyone. Nebraska. And yes, I know exactly how that sounds. But this is the practical, unglamorous value pick, and the numbers genuinely back it up. A 2026 analysis that weighed 16 different factors: vet access, cost, pet-friendly housing, safety, put Nebraska second in the entire country for pet owners. It's cheap to own a dog here, well below the national average, and there's an unusually high number of vets per dog, so care is both close and affordable, which is exactly the boring stuff that quietly matters most when something goes wrong at 9 at night. It's ordinary in the best possible way. Not the flashiest name on this list, just one of the most quietly sensible places in America to actually own a dog. Florida. This one genuinely surprises people because they file Florida under sun, beaches, and chaos. But it's a warm weather lifestyle pick with real substance behind it. It lands higher on animal protection law than almost anyone expects. It limits how far cities can go in banning specific breeds. And it offers an enormous amount of dog-friendly beach, trail, and patio life you can actually use all year round instead of 3 months of it. There's one honest consideration, and it's the climate. Heat, humidity, and year-round parasites mean a bit more spent on prevention and some smarter timing on the hottest days. It's not a deal breaker, it's a planning problem. Work around the weather, and Florida gives a dog a genuinely great life. Maine. If you picture your dog's perfect day as water, woods, and a long walk that never really has to end, Maine is built for exactly that. This is the outdoor dog state. Forests, lakes, thousands of miles of coastline, and dogs welcome in nearly all of its state park campgrounds, so the wild parts of the state are genuinely open to you both. It also happens to carry some of the strongest animal protection laws in the country, which is a real bonus sitting on top of the lifestyle. The honest catch is 2 things. The winters are long and genuinely hard, and you won't find the polished, big city dog amenities you'd get somewhere like Colorado. But for an outdoor dog with an outdoor owner, that's not a compromise. It's the whole reason you'd move there. Montana. Here I have to be straight with you because Montana is a genuine contradiction. The upside is enormous. Space, real affordability. It's one of the 3 cheapest states in the country to own a dog, roughly $2,800 a year, and one of the highest concentrations of vets anywhere. So care is both close and cheap. One recent multi-factor ranking even named it the best overall state in the country for pet owners. But the catch is just as real. On animal protection law specifically, Montana ranks 38th. So the daily life of a dog here is close to perfect, while the legal safety net underneath it is genuinely thin. For most good owners, that trade is completely fine. I'm just not going to stand here and pretend it isn't there. Virginia. Virginia's entire appeal is that it has no weak spot to point at. It sits comfortably above average on animal protection law, it's reasonable on cost, and just this summer, the state went out of its way to reaffirm that dogs are welcome across every one of its state parks, dozens of them with dog-friendly cabins and hundreds of miles of trail attached. Nothing here screams for your attention, and it will never win a single category outright. But that's the point. If you want a state that's genuinely good on the law, good on your wallet, and good on an ordinary Saturday with no glaring downside hiding anywhere in the fine print, Virginia is the quietly balanced answer that almost nobody thinks to mention. Washington. This is the pick for people who flatly refuse to choose between city life and wilderness. And Washington is one of the few places where you genuinely don't have to. Coast, rainforest, mountains, and real dog-friendly cities all sit within an easy drive of one another. So a dog here can spend one weekend on the beach and the next in the mountains, then come home to a city that actually welcomes it inside. The animal protection laws are strong on top of all that. The one real catch is money. Washington is one of the pricier states on this list to own a dog. You're not choosing it for the budget. You're choosing it because that sheer range packed into one state is honestly hard to match anywhere else in the country. And finally, Oregon. I saved it for last because it owns the single cleanest claim on this entire list. The strongest animal protection laws in the country. And not for one fluke's year, it's held the #1 spot 3 years running now. In plain terms, nowhere in America do the laws come down harder on animal cruelty than here. And Oregon backs that reputation up outdoors in a way that's almost funny. Dogs are welcome in the state parks by default, allowed on most of the ocean beaches, with several parks running their own dedicated off-leash areas. It is not the cheapest state on this list, and it won't pretend to be. But if the two things that matter most to you are the law being firmly on your side and the outdoors being genuinely open to your dog, very few places anywhere deliver both the way Oregon does. So there's no single best state for every dog. The right one depends on your dog, your budget, and the life you actually live. Pick the reason that matters most to you and start there. Whether that was a warning or a shopping list, make sure to hit subscribe. This channel gives everything about owning a dog the same honest treatment.